Hey everyone. So today what we're doing is we're going to be cutting a ATV chain. Alright, sorry about that. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting this ATV chain. So the old one was really rusty. And so what I did is I already wrapped it around the sprockets because it was a pain to do with the camera on. And so we got it around the gear up front here. And then it goes down through the chain guard, around the sprocket, and back up. Now, we're not specifically showing you how to do it on this machine. This will work on all machines. And what you need is a chain brake. I personally like this one. There are several different styles. There is one style that only goes on half of it, and it looks like a little C-clamp. Don't get that one. It doesn't work on bigger chains. It works fine on like bike chains or small chains, 35 chain, but it doesn't work very well on the 520 chain. Now this specifically is 520 chain. This is non-O-ring chain. I would have preferred to put O-ring chain on it, but I've ordered it twice and they sent me the wrong thing twice. So we're going to go with this. I was able to get it locally. And so what we do is we kind of put tension on it so that the top is tensioned, the bottom's tensioned. And then you got to look at the chain. You see you got the outside piece and the inside piece. So we need to cut it so that it leaves an outside piece. Or sorry, so it leaves another inside piece, right? So we see here, we pull it tight. We're really close to this one, so it's two inside ones to inside ones. So now we take our tool, and you see how you got this hole in the center. That hole goes over that specific rivet. And then you tighten the big nut. You tighten that down. And it's important that that is tight, okay? Now on smaller chains, 500 chain, like 520 chain, 50 chain, stuff like that, this will center nicely. On, let's say, a 35 chain or a 420 chain, 428, you use this to center it up and then spin this down onto it. So now we got it on there. We got it snug it up nice and tight. So we don't want it to splay the chain out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to crank this in. It does take considerable amount of force at first. Now some people like to grind these flat. I don't, because it helps line up the chain brake. So we're going to hold this and we're going to go ahead and just spin it around. You'll feel like you're going to break something, but that's just they're pressed in, riveted in, you know. And then you'll just all of a sudden you'll feel it go and it'll start sliding out easier. See, now we're going a little bit easier. And what it'll do is it'll actually push that pin, that I believe they call it a roller. It'll push that right out the back side. And that's what we're going for. Now you don't want to cut it too short because then you're going to have to use all kinds of like links and half links. And in my opinion, I've never had good luck on higher horsepower items using half links. They always seem to self-eject out of the machine. So I don't use those unless I absolutely have to. But if I got room in the chain tensioner, then I just make it a little bit longer if I need to. You can see we're getting down there on the threads. Oh, we're all the way through. So now I'm going to back this out. Get that out of the way. Take our wrench. And we'll go ahead and loosen this bolt, or I don't even know what you call it. It is a bolt though. Alright, we pull this away. Oh, we're not quite out of the woods here with this. Okay, now you can see this part of the chain, gone. We cut this much out. And we'll save that in case we need that for something else. And then you see it pushed the link, the roller out through this other hole on the other side. Now we need to take this this link, master link. We got to take it apart because they ship these ones together for some reason. And a needle nose works good. You just kind of get it on the side here, on the open side, and get just that one bar. And we're gonna push it out. Come on. Sorry, this one does not want to play nice. We'll get it. I'm just fighting with this thing off camera here. This one is not pleasant to take apart. What the heck? Sorry, bear with me here. just trying to get this master link out. And normally you can just take and go like this and it'll pop it out. This one, however, is being super stubborn. Of course, as soon as you start recording, that's when things go problems. Have problems. I've never had an issue with this before. Oh man. So you guys got anything going on? Any plans for Thanksgiving? Well, apparently I should have had this already taken apart before we started going live. Then I would have had no issues. You guys got any ideas on how to get those off? Normally I just take channel locks or needle nose and I put them here and they pop right off. What a bunch of junk. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the vise and tap it out. Oh man. Alright, I'm back. That was so dumb. That little clip did not want to cooperate whatsoever. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to line this chain up now and get it put back together. So you're going to take your clip off and then pull this plate off, right? And then of course that's going to be difficult too. And we're going to go ahead and get our chain and we're going to put it through partially through one end. We're going to put that tension on the lower side of the chain, by turning one of the sprockets. And then we're going to line it up there. Now you see how we're connected. We put the other link on, because this is what's going to hold the weight of the chain. And then this clip, you see how it's got an open end? You want it to go so that the open end is behind, or the closed end points in the direction the chain's going to be moving when going forward. All right, in this instance, it's going to be this way. So if I put it on this way, you could hit a rock and knock this clip off. Not like this damn clip would come off, but most of the time you would very easily do that. So I start by getting it lined up like this, get it in this other groove here, and then we'll use hopefully the needle nose. There we go. All right, so we're going to take the needle nose and we're going to go on here and pull it forward, okay? But let's see if we can't get the chain to move out of the way a little bit. All right, so we're going to hook this post and this one, and we want to make sure it goes in the grooves on the front, okay? And we should be able to snap it in, right? We want to look, make sure she's good and solid. And that looks good and solid. Now all we have to do is tension this, and we're good to go. But that's how you fit the chain. Now let me see if you guys can see. Oh, you can. All right. Now we need to tension the chain, and we do that actually with a pipe wrench. There's 2 cam bolts on this back axle. This is a Polaris Explorer 400. It's a two-stroke Polaris, but the idea is the same on most chain-driven Polarises. This hub is actually offset, and so right here and right in here, right, it's offset. So you actually turn the whole hub. So there's a bolt here you got to loosen, and a bolt here, and nuts on the bottom. You got to loosen those till they're loose, okay? And then you're going to use that to turn it. So it is a 5/8 bolt and nut. I already got it mostly loosened up. I'll just give it a little bit more. Now it does help to spray some penetrating oil in here along these hub lines and right in here. And what that'll do is that'll help allow this hub to turn. It is a bear usually to turn. So I take my pipe wrench and I'll actually go from underneath. I'll come up and I will hook it if I can. This one does not allow me to do so because it's got a receiver hitch on it. So I'm going to go from the top and hook it. So we go around that hub and make sure your pipe wrench is tightened down. We don't want no slipping. All right, and then we're going to rotate it. And you'll see this chain, see, it's getting a little tighter. Normally I do this with it on the ground. Can you guys even still see? Yeah, okay. Readjust. And you got to be careful because on this hub there's a grease zert. And you don't want to break that grease zert off. let's go all the way around the other way then. So we can't seem to be turning it one direction, so we're going to go ahead and turn it the other direction. All right, hit her with our foot. All right, now we got her loosened up a little more. I almost wish I had a smaller pipe wrench right now. Problem is, we put too much force on it, we have the tire off, we'll lift it off the jack stand. Oh man, oh man, oh man, why are you so tight? Alright, we're gonna try spreading the clamps just a little bit. See if that'll help us any. Alright, we're going to hit it with a little bit of strike hold penetrating oil. This stuff is phenomenal. Well, it's not even really an oil. It actually dries, like dry lube. You can use it on the chain. You obviously don't want to put it on the brake rotor, right? That'll cause you problems. All right, now we're going the right way. Should probably use a hammer, not my hand, you know. All right, so now, because this suspension articulates, we want to make it tight in the straightest line possible, okay? Now we have the weight of the four-wheeler on here, and as it comes up, it's gonna get a little bit tighter. So we're gonna want a little bit of play, but that's still too much play. Also, this chain is brand new and it's not a pre-stretch chain, so it will stretch. Sorry, I'm going to grab a rubber hammer or something. All right, this might get a little bit louder. We're going to use a hammer to hit this. Again, make sure you watch that grease zerk. You don't want to hit that. Almost there. almost there. All right, now you see, this would be a good chain tension for this Polaris. It's not sagging hitting here, but this is a new chain, so we're actually going to go a little bit tighter than that because it's going to stretch. And we don't want the customer, to drive it 100 miles, get some heat in it, and then all of a sudden it's hitting again. Now if you buy a pre-stretched chain, then this is good. This is good on this four-wheeler. All right, now we got some tension on her. And this is what we're going to put it at for this specific vehicle. And what we're looking at is sometimes the chain and the sprocket and the hinge point is in the exact same spot. But on this machine it's not. If it's in the same spot, then what you set the chain at, it will always stay at it no matter the suspension angle. This will actually loosen up as you come off the suspension, but as the suspension compresses, it'll tighten up again. So we're going to go ahead and snug down these 5/8 bolts over here. There's one directly behind the sprocket. What's nice about the Polarises, right, is for one, when you tension the chain, your axle stays straight. So as long as your bushings are good, your chain will not be crooked. Now remember, these got to be good and tight. You don't want them excessively tight. You don't want to break them off. But they need to be tight to hold that axle in place. Now that sounds a lot tighter than it is, but this bolt's just got problems. Wow. All right. Good enough there. Anyway, you guys got any questions? All right, well, you guys enjoy. I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks for watching. The link for the chain breaker is in the description.